Are your email open rates hovering around 20% or even lower than that? You're not alone. Trust me, there's tons of other e-commerce brands out there that are struggling with the same thing. How can I get these people to open my emails? Just like my client Wear Me Pro, when I first was auditing their account, they were sitting at a 13% average open rate, and I was able to get them closer to a 40%. Or just like my client Focal, where they consistently hit that 40% average open rate monthly. In this video, I'm gonna show you 5 ways that you can improve your open rates so that your subscribers can start becoming customers. Okay, so the first one that I have is testing. Yes. Testing. It is so important for e-commerce brands to get out there and experiment. If you've been sending the same old subject line with just like a little bit of a change to it, your subscriber list is gonna notice and they're not gonna open it. It's the same thing you've been sending to them. And testing is a surefire way to have clear data. That's my biggest thing. When I go into an account and I'm looking at the data, I wanna know what's working best. And that's where testing comes in. Set up some A/B tests on your next campaign. Maybe you're experimenting with an emoji or maybe a little bit of a tone of voice change. Experiment and look at the data. When you find one that outperforms another, start to set up those parameters. You know now what subject line is going to get people to take action more than others. Basically, you never know until you test it. So definitely A/B test your subject lines to get it optimized. The next one that I have is analyzing trends. And I know you're thinking, trends with subject lines. Yes, it's a thing, okay? So as pop culture evolves, things change, there are changes with subject lines. So one thing I love to do to get a real pulse on, I guess, the tone of voice of the inbox right now is to check out mild.com. So on Mild, you'll find your competitors, you'll find other top brands. You'll be able to see what subject line they've used and what preview line they've been using. So what's great about that is you can kind of start to take note, like, is the tone of voice shifting? Did I see that my competitor did something really unique with a subject line that I haven't tested? Okay, back to step 1, test it, see if it works for you. But analyzing trends, analyzing competitors, just seeing what the rest of the market is doing in subject lines is huge. I mean, one thing you can do right off the bat is go into your promotions tab, look through every subject line that's come your way this week. Anything, just stop your eyesight, just kind of grab your attention. High likelihood that you're not the only one. Your list might gravitate towards something similar. So implement that, check out trends, and see how you can apply that to your brand. Now, the next one that I have is kind of my biggest pet peeve with subject lines, and that is sounding like a brand, sounding like a robot, not sounding human in the inbox. So many e-commerce brands will go the route sending out an email and it's in all caps, baby, limited edition, 50% off site-wide, shop now, final hours. People have seen it, they've heard it, they're tired of it, okay? So we wanna be unique. We want to stop that eyesight when they're scrolling through their promo tab, their inbox. What is different about your subject line? And blending in with all the other brands is not it. So what I mean by sounding human is what potentially your ideal customer, like what is the language they're using? Maybe there's kind of tone of voice, insider lingo, things like that, that their friends, family, coworkers, people in their space would use when it comes to your brand. And I know that can seem kind of hard to pinpoint, but one simple one that literally you could test tomorrow is sending out an email that says, I don't want you to miss this, ... And that could be for a product launch, that could be for a last chance for a sale. And then your preview line can maybe have a bit more details like, our site-wide sale is coming to an end. Just something like that to test that sounds more human and not so much like I'm a brand, I'm emailing you, buy my stuff, because people are gonna be like, I don't feel like opening that. I'll see it next week after. You're just like every other brand, right? So being unique, sounding more human in the inbox. One last thing about sounding human too, this is just my biggest pet peeve, is a subject line where every first letter of a word is capitalized. That just screams like, I'm a brand, I am a robot, and I'm emailing you. Like it just never gets good engagement, never beats out a more humanized subject line when I've tested it, just like, ugh. So first things first, just ditch that. No kind of like all capital letters in each word in your subject line. Ditch that, because that just says, hey, I'm a brand. I'm emailing you, buy my stuff. All right, the next one I have is personalization. So I'm sure you've heard this screamed from the rooftops of everybody in email marketing, but personalization is where it's at. If you really want to drive up some higher open rates, sending out an email that has that personalized touch just does it. It gets you those extra opens. So different ways you can do that, right? Of course. Hey Peyton, hey first name. Having the first name in there is great. Honestly, start there if you haven't done that yet. But let's get a bit more smarter with it, right? So what I love to do with personalization is actually dig into customer data or new lead data. Did they fill out a quiz? Did they browse a certain type of product? I'm looking at those purchase behaviors, those site activity behaviors, segmenting my audience, and then delivering them a subject line that's then going to be hyper curated to them. So for instance, working with a hair care brand like JVN Hair, I have emails that go out that are really specific to everyone fighting frizz. So if I'm segmenting and emailing that group who has a known problem browsing frizz products or frizz helping products, filled out a quiz and their problem point is frizz, the personalization I can do in the subject line is, I know you're fighting frizz, or something like that. So that personalization could literally be like, frizz fighting favorites, things that we could really call out, because if I know that I'm emailing a group that is so interested in this, my open rates are through the roof on that. Also with personalization, if you have a loyalty program in your e-commerce business, this is great to get out a campaign where you have, hey, you have 500 points waiting in your account. So being able to dynamically insert how many points they have to redeem, that's fantastic too. That one always does stellar. Getting that out a campaign to people who just have money to go spend, but dynamically insert how many points they have in the subject line. You'll get lots of opens with that. Okay, the last one that I have is probably the biggest one and the best one to save for last. And I kind of hinted at it in the last tip, but segmentation. Let me tell you, if you are having open rates 20% or below, there's a high likelihood you have deliverability issues. Very high. And if you do, and you think you might, go check out my other video. I did one on how to get out of the spam inbox, and it will be extremely helpful for you addressing deliverability issues, but that goes hand in hand with segmentation, which is great for open rates. So imagine we're going to do a product launch and we've kind of already emailed our full list, but we want to do like an extra send out there to people who were interested. Doing those extra segmentations, those layers, those filters of saying, I know this group here is interested in hearing more. I'm not going to blast my full list. Honestly, you should probably never blast your full list, but we're finding a segment and we're emailing them an extra email or a dedicated message because they are people who are showing the most interest. They are the most likely to open and click and convert. And what's great about segmentation, going back to the deliverability piece, is when you email these little pods of segments versus your entire list, you then begin to build trust with inbox providers. So Gmail, Yahoo, when you blast your full list and they see that only 10% open, they take note of that and they say, okay, I don't think this brand is very trustworthy. I think I'm gonna put their emails in spam. Simplifying it a lot, but that's kind of the algorithms that they're running. They're actually measuring how people are engaging when you send out bulk email. So it's imperative to send out these segments, hyper-targeted, because not only will you look amazing to inbox providers because you're targeting a very specific segment, but your open rate, your overall health of your entire email account starts to repair, which is imperative for the life of your email marketing. And if you do decide to email your entire list, please put in an exclusion. So, you have your main targeting list. You can then apply exclusions. Like, I don't want this group to get it. At least put in an exclusion of, here are these people that I've emailed more than 10 times, 15 times. and they haven't opened a single message, let's exclude them, okay? Because we wanna make sure we're not blasting them over and over and over and over again. Probably not gonna open still. And also with our segment, if we are targeting our engaged segment, they can come back in later, right? It's dynamic. It's pulling people in, pulling them out depending on their behaviors. So it's like always cleaning itself. You know, everyone talks about list cleaning. Segmentation is doing that automatically for you. So open rates are just one piece of the email puzzle, right? Once they open, are they clicking? Are they converting? Your design and copy then come into question there. So the strategy piece is key once they get to that step. And that's where me and my team come in, where we can help take that off your plate, build, optimize, and be strategic with your email marketing so that you can start getting an ROI in your email channel. Check out the link below where you can book a call directly with me. I love to chat about your emails. Or if you're looking to kind of do it yourself, I have another tutorial where I show you how to transform an email design in Figma. So if you want to email like the big boys out there, the big brands, that's exactly how you do it. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will see you in the inbox. Bye.